What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. Today, we're going to talk about how to communicate with a narcissistic person that you have to communicate with, that you cannot go no contact with. Typically, it's co-parenting, but there's other situations involved as well. Stay tuned, like, and subscribe for more.
I always recommend no contact with a narcissist, but unfortunately, that's not always possible. If you absolutely must speak with a narcissist, have you heard of the Jade technique? Do not justify, do not argue, do not defend, and do not explain. Don't provide reasons or justifications for any of your actions or decisions. Don't engage in an argument or try to convince them of your point of view. When they inevitably attack you, don't defend yourself. That one's hard, but trust me on this one. Lastly, do not provide an explanation for your actions or your decisions. Using this Jade technique helps you keep your emotional balance. Narcissists and toxic people are trying to suck you into an argument. Have you tried this technique? How has it worked for you? State your point of view and state it once. When and if they attempt to bully you, end the conversation. Not engaging in the argument is the boundary. Ending the conversation is the consequence.
Welcome back, beautiful people. So that creator in the beginning, her name is Lisa Sunny. She goes by, her name is Stronger Than Before online. She's a survivor and coach. She helps people break the trauma bond and whatnot. This is her book. It's available on Amazon. The Trauma Bond Recovery Journal. It's on Amazon to help you break the trauma bond. Trauma Bond Recovery Journal. Lisa Sunny is going to be going across the bottom of the screen too. But yeah, the Jade technique and how to deal with narcissistic, toxic people that you cannot, or sometimes you don't want to cut them out. So I mean, I understand everybody doesn't or can't cut the narcissistic person out, the toxic person. Some people don't want to cut them out, and I'm here to tell you, y'all. This is a no judgment zone, but sometimes other people might judge you. You see what I'm saying? So the Jade technique. Y'all see the acronym. It stands Jade, J-A-D-E. You know, the color jade. My cousin, Reggie, his daughter's middle name is Jade. Ava Jade. Justify, argue, defend, explain. Typically, this works better when you're dealing with narcissistic people that you try to co-parent with, or somehow some that you have to, that you work with, the narcissistic coworker, the narcissistic friend, the narcissistic business partner, or somebody that you, like I said, somebody that you can't cut out of your life, somebody that you have to absolutely deal with, somebody that might, like I said, it might be annoying for you to deal with them, but you have to deal with them, or you don't want to cut them out. It's your brother, your sister, somebody. You know what I mean? I understand this dynamic. When no contact doesn't work, because it's hard, y'all. This is just speaking from other people's experiences. I haven't had experience in the court systems, but a lot of people tell me that when you go no contact with somebody that you're trying to co-parent with, it could end up looking bad in court. You see what I'm saying? Especially if the other parent is trying to paint the picture of you alienating them and you're not talking to them at all or responding to anything. It can look like parental alienation. Like when they were no contact with me, and here's the TikTok. They're celebrating 25 days, not talking to me, not communicating with me about my child, and I have no way to. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be very, very careful with going no contact, because no contact is the best way to help you heal. But everybody it's hard. Everybody can't go no contact, and some people don't want to. I understand. But yeah, Jade, J-A-D-E, the acronym. Do not justify. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people, codependents, empaths, whoever you are that's dealing with the narcissistic, toxic person in your life, you feel like you have to justify everything. You have to justify your words. You feel like you have to justify your actions. You feel like you have to justify every single interaction you have with this person. Justify why you did this. Justify why you did that. All this other stuff right there. You don't, look out. Get to the point where you feel like you don't owe anybody an explanation or reason for your choices, especially when you're trying to co-parent with a narcissistic person, because narcissistic people don't typically want to co-parent with you. They want to counter-parent with you. A narcissistic co-worker, a narcissistic boss typically doesn't want to hear what you have to say to them. So like I said, it works different in the workhouse, in the workplace, or whatnot. The co-worker, you don't have to justify your stuff if they're not your boss. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to justify anything to them. So many people want to justify it and fight back and stuff like that. Y'all, you don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't have to justify it. Narcissistic people want to drag you. We want to drag you into our world. We want to drag you into our reality. We want to be able to trigger you and control you and all the other good, bad stuff, however you view it. So you don't have to justify anything. The narcissistic person wants you to justify, hey, you owe me an explanation for why you said this, why you did this, why you want them to go wear these shoes instead of those shoes, why you want them to go to this school instead of that school, why did they have to take that class instead of that class, why'd you do this, why'd you say this. Y'all, don't get drugged into their world, because I'm telling you, once you give up that power, it's gone forever. I'm just being realistic with you. Don't give up that power. Narcissistic, once they realize they can't control you, they try other stuff, but you don't have to justify. That's the J right there, y'all. That's the J in Jade. J. Probably no hooked on phonics. The A, do not argue, y'all. You know what I mean? Do not argue with people. Do not, like I said, narcissistic people, toxic people, whoever you are dealing with, your coworker, your friend, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your intimate partner, your spouse. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to argue. You don't have to attend every argument that you're invited to. You don't have to. You don't have to show up. You don't have to argue. You don't have to fuss. You don't have to fight. You don't necessarily have to do any of that. But so many people so many toxic people want to argue with you out. There's a power in there's a good feeling that comes to some narcissists when they able to push those buttons, put that special code in with you and argue with you, get you to argue with them. Like, here you go. Boop, boop, beep, 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 beep. Argument. Here you go again. All it takes is certain trigger words. If they cannot trigger you, they cannot control you, y'all. Controlling your triggers, controlling your reactions is a superpower. You don't have to argue with them. When you feel like they're being argumentative with you, set a boundary, hang the phone up, end the call. Hey, look, I don't like this tone. End the call. You don't have to argue with them. I know sometimes it feels good. I know sometimes you want to do all this other stuff, but you don't have to argue with them. And typically, guess where the arguments come from? Arguments come from the D in Jade. Arguments stem from you trying to defend yourself against them. You don't need to defend yourself against narcissistic people, y'all. I promise you don't. Like, as a narcissist, when you're defending yourself against me, typically it's because I came up with something. I've started something with you, or I've misread the situation, or I've taken something the wrong way and I want to trigger a response from you, or I'm feeling in a certain type of way and I'm taking my internal anger, I'm taking it out on you. So I want to argue with you. So you jump into defense mode because you got to defend your pride, right? You got to defend your stuff. You don't have to, y'all. Who cares what that narcissistic person says to you? They're venting on you. They probably are angry. Do they hate you? Some of them absolutely do hate you. But most narcissists hate how you make them feel about themselves. You see what I'm saying? I hate how you make me feel about myself because you might be doing something better than me. I can't trigger you anymore. So I hate that. So I'm taking it out on you. I want to do this right here. So narcissistic people always want to consistently make you feel like you are under attack. So when you feel like you're under attack, guess what the operative thing to do when you're under attack is? Defend yourself. You don't have to defend yourself, y'all. You can stand up for yourself. You can stand up for yourself if necessary, but you don't have to defend yourself every time they say something. Every time they say a little slight to you, or they just say, oh, I wish I'd have chose a different baby mama. You don't have to fight back. You don't have to fight back. Oh, you such a stupid ass baby daddy. You don't have to say anything back to them. Cool. Thumbs up. No response. Cool. Smiley face. Yep. I wish you'd have chose one too. Boom. Gotcha. You don't have to defend yourself, y'all. They want you to, y'all. I promise you. They want to get a rise out of you because once they can trigger you, they'll pull their phone out, record you, paint you as the bad guy, paint you as the crazy one. And guess what? You look bad. You look crazy. So as I said, you do not have to defend yourself. You don't have to attend every argument that you're invited to. You just don't, y'all. Empower yourself, control yourself, and things of that nature. You have to. You absolutely have to, because if you don't, I'm just telling you, they're going to catch you. You don't have to defend yourself. And the last one, y'all, the E, Jade, Jade, explaining, y'all. You don't have to over explain yourself to narcissistic people. Say it once, say it clear, and be done with it. You don't have to go into great detail. Yeah, I think so many people put on kids gloves when you're fighting with narcissistic people. You feel like you have to dumb down your conversations. Still say it out loud. They understand it. A lot of narcissists are smart people, smart, capable, intellectual people. They just have low emotional intelligence, which leads you to want to fight, fuss and fight and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? That leads you down this pathway. You don't have to attend every argument that you're invited to. That's why I just said, like, you don't have to explain it. You know what I mean? You don't have to explain your boundaries. You don't have to explain. You don't have to explain any of that type of stuff, y'all. You know, a lot of people are afraid of rejection and criticism, things like that. So you want to over explain yourself to get away from it. You don't owe them an explanation for your actions, especially if your actions are already justified. You see what I'm saying? This comes with boundaries, y'all. When you practice the J technique on a narcissist, and you sit down and cross your legs, you float. When you're at peace and you're doing a J technique, you float in the air and you can hum like hum. You float. You're at Zen. They can't get you when you're Zen. You see what I'm saying? When you're Zenning, they can't get you. Zen it up, y'all. That's the J technique, y'all. Also look up the BIFF method, BIFF, brief, informative, firm, and friendly, because you can kind of intertwine the two in these situations. You can use you can say when you're using J technique, you also use the BIFF method. Brief, keep your communication brief, keep it informative, keep it firm, and keep it friendly. Not friends, friendly. And that way you can also integrate that with the J technique. And that way you can avoid parental alienation, stuff like that. Just be as safe and as strong as you possibly can, y'all. Anyways, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into another episode. Like and subscribe for more. Follow Lisa Sunny Stronger Than Before. Mental Hoodness is out. Peace.